Hey guys, so this is my behind the scenes of Today with Pastor Jay. And as I was walking in the studio, there's so much energy here. There are tons of women in the studio. And I walked in, and Michelle, we had a great time, did we
Yes,
not?
we did.
Yeah, so you may hear some giggles as we're pre-recording in the background. I mean, Sheriff Staley was here.
That's right.
My brother in Christ, Mark Strombridge, he was here. And it just got to be quite a bit of people. Danielle Anderson was here.
Lots of people.
Yes.
Lots of good promotions.
Yes,
going on.
several Rotarians as
That's
well was
correct.
here. Yep, Cindy Delecki
That's right.
is in here, so it was kind of cool. But we're going to get started. Bartlome.
That's right.
Yeah, I got the last name right
Good
for
job.
now until it starts recording. So you know how that's going to go. Let me see if I can see me. Can't see me as of yet. Huh. Okay, Mark. You say we're recording. It says we're live. Let's go to WNZF and see. Okay.
Technology.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, we're good. All right, we're ready.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny.
Good morning, good morning. Wake up. Good morning. What a wonderful and beautiful day it is. Welcome to Today with Pastor Jay, where faith meets leadership and purpose finds its platform. Of course, I am your host, and today we're joined by dynamic community leader Michelle Bartlome, the newly elected president of the Rotary Club of Flagler County. Now, Rotary is more than a club. It's a movement of service, integrity, and global impact. And from local scholarships to international clean water projects, Rotary lives out its motto, service above self. So, Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Now, I have to count. Let me see. I've been in Rotary since I think 2018. So I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You might be my 7th president.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to serve as your 7th president of your club experience, Jerlyn.
I wasn't counting the years. I was really counting the people in my head.
Wonderful.
So if I'm off, I'm off. I was
Yes.
counting the people. But the number 7 is the number of perfection.
No.
Did you know that?
Well, I will take it. Thank you, Pastor Jay.
So let's begin our journey. What led you to Rotary? Because you were Rotary president prior to even coming to Flagler County.
Yeah. Well, first, let me say thank you for your service to the club, Pastor Jay. We love having you.
Mm-hmm.
Rotary has been a big part of all of our lives for so long. But my personal experience, my father has been a Rotarian for all of my life. When I was little, we would go to all of the community events together and really be able to serve the community as a family. I believe in legacy. I believe in service to the community. And seeing that as a young child led me to this path of that's something I would like to do. I would like to find ways to give back as well. So about 15 years ago now, I've been a Rotarian for 15 years. I decided to walk into a Rotary Club meeting. I was not invited. I was not anyone's guest, which is not normal in a Rotary setting.
Because normally you
Yep.
are invited by a fellow
That's
Rotarian
right.
and say, come this
Come
way.
join us. Try us out. So I walked into the meeting and I said, I would like to be a member of Rotary. And at the time, I was brand new to the community. I'd only been there for a little less than a year.
Now, which area did you live in?
I was in Idaho at this point.
Okay.
And they said, oh, that's wonderful. Who are you? Who are you here with? And I looked around the room, and I had worked for a television station at the time, and I saw someone I had interviewed with, and I said, Scott, would you be my sponsor for today? And he said, absolutely. He did end up sponsoring me into the Rotary Club of Twin Falls. I served there for many years. I served as club president about a decade ago.
Okay.
I served as assistant governor for our district at that time as well. And then, as you're well aware, I know you know my story, but 3 years ago, moved here to Florida and really just decided, obviously, I want to get back into Rotary. What does that look like? Where am I going to? So I went around to the local clubs in our area, gave everyone a chance to, do due diligence, check out all the local clubs. They all have different vibes, different experiences, different club members. And unfortunately, when your dad's a club member, you're going to kind of, favor that club that he's a part of. So I was able to join the Rotary Club of Flagler County, which my dad's also a member of. And it has been a true blessing to us. For him and I, it's a wonderful bond to be able to spend that time together every week. And then for just being a part of the community, it's a great organization, and it's wonderful to find ways to give back.
Speaking of your dad, I don't know if you know this, but he is my Rotary husband.
I've heard.
So for you know how that began?
Please tell me.
Okay, so I was ill one day. I can't remember how it happened, but I needed some money. It started with money. I had to pay a fine. And your dad stepped up to pay my fine. It was like $1 or $2. And then I was ill and needed a ride somewhere. And he took me where I needed to go. Okay. So it started out with him paying a debt. And then all of a sudden he became my Rotary husband.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So it's funny because I adore him. And of course your mom. And then your mom and I, we served in a federated club together in Volusia County, which was kind of cool. And then a few years ago, when my daughter transitioned from this place to heaven, your mom cooked a home cooked meal for my family. Of course, your dad knew nothing about this.
Of course.
I thought he knew everything about it. So I'm saying thank you to him for this home cooked meal. And he was like, yeah.
And he's saying, oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Taking all the credit.
He was taking all the credit like it was his meal, like he was
funny.
the one that made it and all that. But yeah, so your dad he's my Rotary husband.
I love that.
So when you came to the club, he introduced you as my Rotary daughter,
That's
just
right.
so you know. So he still pays my fines every now and then, $1 or $2 here and there.
That's right.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And he's going to be serving, as you're well aware, as our president-elect right now. Which
I'm
means
excited.
Next year, he's our Rotary president for
I'm
our club.
excited about that. That is super cool. So when you look at the president role, and you were president before, what do you believe that this role is going to entail for you here in Flagler County?
I fully believe that I am a servant leader. So I believe in finding ways to give back to the community and inspiring others to also find whatever their fit is within the organization. Mm-hmm. And I think every club member comes in with their own reason for joining. But if we're able to allow them for a chance to flourish within their own committee or chair or something that they really want to be a part of, I think that's extremely beneficial. So I look at myself as just someone to help guide, provide some good, big thinker, very inspirational, let's do some big things. But it takes the right people to really make that happen because it takes a village.
What are going to be your top priorities?
Yes. So
I mean, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. I'll say as a whole, civic groups across the nation are in a decline, unfortunately. We've heard about it from many different organizations. So Rotary is not like at other organizations around. So for me, I think it's really important. Membership is huge. So we need new members. We also need to retain the members that we have. And, our population is growing. Look at the city here where we're at, over 100,000 plus population. There are others out there who I know would like to serve. So please come check us out. So that will be the first thing is really your membership. It's really important. And then 2, it's a big year for us, Pastor Jay, and I know you know.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So the Rotary Club of Flagler County is having its 20th anniversary for Fantasy Lights. And Fantasy Lights is a holiday event during the entire month of November, December. The end of November we start, we go through December. And it's a wonderful way to give back to the community through this event. So it's going to be big this year. We're doing a big celebration December 20th at 6:30 p.m. and many other things throughout that time frame to really showcase the great work that the Rotary Club has done. And just for your awareness, we talked about the numbers, but over the 20 events we've had, $375,000 has been raised through that event to give back out to the community.
Wow, that's a huge, huge number. Now, how are you going to balance tradition? Because, this is a longtime Rotary Club with innovation as you lead this organization into this new season.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I would say we have so many great club members who they bring their own background, their own awareness of things that have happened with traditions in the past, the way things have always been. So we still need to allow for that space because it's very important to the formality of what you do within Rotary. However, there is innovation, there are new ideas. And as we bring in new members, that's where that comes into play, because we really want to be able to attract and grow new members and also retain. So I'd say it's a delicate balance. We want to make sure that we're allowing for our club members who've been in our club for a long time to still feel seen and heard, and to still feel like they have a seat at the table, while also bringing in new members. And I'm very honored to be able to serve in that role, to lead that on that this year.
Okay, well, this segment is brought to you by Church on the Rock, Judah One Aviation, and Great Eagle Strategies, partners in purpose and prayer. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. More ahead with Rotary President Michelle Bartlome.
For some reason, it's saying unable to connect for NZF, but it's trying.
Oh, okay. So NZF is having the issue, but we're streaming everywhere else. Yeah, we're streaming everywhere else.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, well, that's all I care is. All right, you ready? Welcome back to Today with Pastor Jay, and I'm here with Rotary President Michelle Bartlome. She's the president of my Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the world, Rotary Club of Flagler County. So let's talk about the impact Rotary is making right here and around the world. And I am very proud of our Rotary Club. You know, I've worn a lot of different hats. I just thought about that.
I know. Tell me more. I know you've been on so many committees, but tell me.
No, we're not going to do that. This is not about me. Speaking hats, I've worn different hair too. I had a pink wig one year.
That's right.
That I used to wear around just to get people all excited.
Yeah.
But what are some of the local initiatives that Rotary is currently involved in that you're proud of?
Yeah, so the Fantasy Lights event is the big one for the Rotary Club of Flagler County. So we really are preparing all year round at this point in time for this large event. It takes a lot of manpower, it takes a lot of sponsors, and it's really something that is impactful for the community. Why? Because the money that we raise goes back out to the community. So that's serving your local nonprofits. That's also serving our Flagler County students through scholarships. So last year, we were able to give out $12,000 of scholarships to Flagler County students through the Education Foundation, and that came through funds that we received during Fantasy Lights. So all of that money that we're raising goes right back out into the community, and it allows for us to help support. Many organizations are really doing great things in the area, and we're so proud to be able to help support them through it.
When you talk about local nonprofits, most people don't realize that they can apply for small grants through our local Rotary Club.
Yep. That's a great point.
Yeah.
So actually nowadays our application is right on our website. So if you go to flaglercountyrotary.org, you can look for our application right there. It's an electronic PDF. You would just fill out whatever you're looking for in terms of grants and then submit that back into the email, or you can mail it into us. We have a charitable giving committee that reviews all of those grants, and then we figure out where the money is going to be spent. So it's, again, volunteers that do the great work of money coming in, money goes back out to the community to help support what we're doing here locally.
When you think of the motto, service above self, how does that impact you personally?
Man, I truly do believe that living your life as an example of service to yourself in the community by giving back of yourself, by really being selfless, is super important. I believe in legacy as well, which I know we've talked about, but I would love to be able to model for my kids what I think is important, which is giving back out to the community, so that maybe in the future they can choose to be a part of Rotary or another civic organization, or just in general giving of themselves to others. My kids actually went to the Rotary International Convention with us this year in Canada, and afterwards they said that they maybe want to do a Rotary Youth Exchange program.
Oh, wow.
Which is huge.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Rotary Youth Exchange and what's involved in that.
So there's different ways that you can do Rotary Youth Exchange. The one that they were talking about is a summer program. So it's a 2-3 month long summer program where essentially you would go to a different Rotary club. The one that we were talking about was a gal in Brazil who was very much courting my kid to say, hey, this is something that would be very helpful for you. You learn about the culture, you get to experience what they do in their day-to-day life. And it's just a great way to immerse yourself fully within that while also doing it through the Rotary organization.
Can you think of a project that we've done or an event that was meaningful to you or impactful for the Flagler County Rotary?
Yeah, so we just did the 988 Suicide Awareness Walk last year. In conjunction with the Rotary Club of Flagler Beach, we submitted for a district grant that was from our club, the Flagler County Club, plus the Flagler Beach Club, to be able to really get out there these walks in September. That was led, but not by myself, by our committee co-chairs for that, Marilee Walsh, Marcus Duffy, and Derek Harden. And what was really neat about that is it's the first time we've done that specific service project. And it was all a free event for folks. So we were able to get T-shirts to give out and really just encourage some additional awareness. So I know the Flagler Beach Club is doing that again this year in September. So I would welcome anyone that wants to come join us. We're going to be supporting that from our Rotary Club this year as well.
You are always hyped up. I mean, you're the hype man, which I love because, I bring the hype.
That's right.
But it's great to have a president that's the hype man as well. How do you encourage members to stay engaged and inspired in their service?
I love that question. I really think it's important for people to feel wanted and to have fun when they're coming to a club meeting. You are a volunteer in our kind of organization. You are paying, actually, to be a part of Rotary.
Good point.
But if you're going to spend your time and invest your time with a Rotary Club, I want it to be meaningful to you. And I really want you to walk away from that going, wow, that was a lot of fun. I've made really good friends, and this is something I look forward to coming to. We meet weekly, so it's a big investment of time. And doing fundraising projects is a lot of volunteer hours as well.
Okay. Well, this portion of the show is brought to you by Judah One Aviation, Church on the Rock, and Great Eagle Strategy, supporting leaders who walk in faith and lead with conviction. Stay tuned. Michelle Bartlome shares how Rotary is preparing the next generation of servant leaders. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial.
That's great.
Thank you. I was confused when you did 5. Did I have 5 minutes left?
That was 5 minutes into the segment.
Oh!
It's all good.
Well, I don't know how many minutes I got left. I don't know sign language like that. Okay, where we at? How much time do I have left in this last segment?
Say 6 to 7.
Okay, so that's a decent amount of time. All right, good deal. Oh, you ready? We're back with Michelle Bartlome, and we're looking ahead. What's next for Rotary, and how is the club raising up future leaders? And as we mentioned earlier, of course, we've got the Early Act Club at Bunnell Elementary, which I am the liaison for, which is super cool because I say it's super cool. So I kind of fell into that role, which that's one of many roles I've had in Rotary over the years. My granddaughter attends Bunnell Elementary School. So I kind of got that.
Wonderful.
And it's been kind of cool. Let me tell you what I did last year.
Yeah, please.
So I had a guest come and talk about the flag. And I had gone to the White House. And we had someone sing the national anthem, this world-renowned woman sing the national anthem. And then I showed them the flag. And then we had someone talk about the flag and all this other kind of stuff. It was kind of cool. So I played the video. I talked about my time at the White House and with the president. And then we had someone speak about Nikki White. She talked about the flag. And I had these little lapel pins, and I shared with all the kids about the flag. That was it. Just something simple. Next thing I know, I started getting messages on Facebook from parents, from the Early Act students, and I went, oh, I'm in trouble now.
Oh, no.
What did I do? I'm kicked out of Rotary. I'm kicked out of Early Act. I'm like, what happened? What did I do?
Right.
Because, it wasn't political. But this is America. We should be able to talk about our flag. They do the Pledge of Allegiance in school. I wanted them to know what it meant. And one of the parents, there were several parents that had reached out, but one of the parents wanted to thank me because her son came home and was so excited about the flag and about our country and was just excited about everything and thanked me.
That's right.
So it was kind of cool. So I was like, I thought I was in trouble.
I'm glad you weren't.
Yeah, I was getting ready to tell you because you were acting president then before you became president.
That's right.
So I was getting ready to report to you. You may have to replace me So when you think about raising up the next generation of leaders, that's something that Rotary does. You're impacting not just students in elementary, but of course we have Interact at the high school,
That's
at
right.
FPC. And that's been around a long time. So how do you mentor and empower not just the younger ones, but the new members into leadership roles?
Yeah. So I'll start with the younger kids because
Yeah.
it is true. That is the next leaders that are going to be coming forward in the future. And that is the future of Rotary, of our communities, of all of it. So you have to start when they're young of really sharing with them your why. Why does it matter? Why should we be a part of these service organizations? So thank you for serving as the Early Act Liaison this last year. I think it's been wonderful to have you in that spot.
Yeah, I tried to pass it off.
Thank you for saying yes again this year.
Yeah, I tried.
But
it didn't work.
that is, so the Early Act program, for those listening, is really for the elementary age students. And it allows them a chance to understand more about what Rotary is all about and who we are as an organization. So a big focus for Rotary is the 4-way test of the things that we think, say, and do. And that's something that these elementary school students are learning at their meetings. And then they're repeating that just as we do in our Rotary meetings to close out every one of their sessions. And I think that's how we really want to live our lives, in this way of, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? And that's the things that we talk about with the elementary kids. And then we take a little hop skip because we have nothing in the middle schools right now, unfortunately. But we go into the high school years, and we have an Interact program in the Flagler Palm Coast High School. And then we also have, not our club, but the Flagler Beach Club sponsors the Matanzas High School. They also have an Interact club there. So that really allows for the high school students then to come back into this world of service, giving back, and volunteer hours, which is something that they're already doing through a lot of their programming in high school. But this experience allows them to get back out into the community. Many of them help to volunteer during our big events like Fantasy Lights and others that we've had in the past to get volunteer hours and to help to serve the community. So I'd say on that side, it's amazing that we have these organizations, and the schools are so wonderful to allow us to have those within.
Well, when you think about, you talked about the 4-way test.
Yep.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
That's right.
That's huge.
That's right.
If I had to be a teacher in these schools dealing with these students,
That's right.
I'll just leave that right there.
Well, I think it's a way to live your life, truly,
It
with your 4-way
is.
test. And
The
I think if
4-way
the kids
test,
can learn
yes,
that now.
they can learn those principles now, it will change them.
Yep. And then to your question about, as new individuals are coming into the club, how are we helping them as well? It's really making them feel empowered to speak up as they start out as a Rotary Club member. Even if they're a younger member, if they're not, maybe it's fine. We want everyone to have a voice at the table, and we end all of our meetings with that test. And I think it helps to solidify who we are. Our theme for this year for our across the board Rotary International is Unite for Good. And I think that right there is a wonderful testament to where we're at as an organization. And for us to be able to have that theme every week in front of us as club members, it's a great reminder to who we are and what we do.
Speaking of the theme, Unite for Good, how does Rotary collaborate with churches, nonprofits, and civic organizations to unite for good?
Yeah, absolutely. So I talked a little bit about the fact that we give back out money through nonprofits with a lot of our events. So there's many connection points there. We also have guest speakers every week. And what's really nice about that is we're able to hear about other organizations and what they're doing in the community and how we can help support them. Because really, a lot of them are boots on the ground. They're the ones that are doing the work. And we're able to help contribute then towards their goodwill and with the things that they're working on in the community as well. So that's a great way of doing it. And it's just important, the collaboration, not only with our club and nonprofits, but really working on that collaboration between the other Rotary clubs that are in our area. And I would say that's very impactful as well, because it's not just one organization. It's all these other Rotary clubs that are also doing great things. How do we do that together?
So I'm going homeless this year.
Heard.
Again. Look, again. Yeah, where I raise awareness of homelessness in our community, and we take those funds where people sponsor us. And so I've asked Michelle if she will participate in that. We're going to do a cardboard box city.
That's right.
And that's going to be great. But also you are supporting Pastor Solano's efforts with the food pantry. Every year we give money to that. We collect food. So many wonderful things. Also Project Warm. That is something else that we do with our Rotary Club, with collecting diapers and food. And for Halloween, I'm sure we're going to do something for that. And that's something that we do every year. We go, and the women of Project Warm have done so many phenomenal things there.
Yep, absolutely. And we've been able to get tours of their facility there. And again, it's another way for us to help support the organizations that are doing amazing work in the community. And we're just here to help say thank you by providing some additional funding that they might need to continue their initiatives.
You know, Matthew 20:26 says, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. And I know you're a woman of faith.
I am.
So how does your faith help you be that servant in Rotary?
I believe fully that there's a plan for all of us and that He is there for us and continues to help us as we go through our journey. I believe that you're put into certain places for certain reasons. And while we might not know it at this time, the path is before us. And I do fully believe in, my faith and my religion. And I do think that it helps me to stay grounded and just understand that there's so much to this wonderful life, and we're so blessed to be here.
Well, thank you so very much. So, today Michelle reminded us that leadership isn't about titles, it's about service. And Rotary's mission is to create a lasting change. And it begins with everyday people saying yes to purpose. So I leave you with this. You know what I say? Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Maybe today you volunteer. Today, maybe you join a movement that's bigger than yourself. Maybe you say yes to servant leadership or yes to our Rotary Club. Until next time, it's been Today with Pastor Jay. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Boom.